I was halfway through playing with this before I remembered I was supposed to be filming it. We have a Vax Air Cordless Duo, which doesn't work. I've been given this. The lady who owned it had a new one from Vax under warranty. We need to work out why it's not working. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? We have a cordless machine to look at that currently doesn't work. Was owned by a lovely old dear, it broke, and Vax sent her a new motor which still didn't work, so they sent her a blade too, and this is where I come in. If I can fix this, she's having it back because she prefers this. If I can't, I keep it. So I started actually with the batteries, and this one is now taking a charge. It wasn't to start with. I got a flashy red Everlight, but it seems now to be taking a charge. We put the other battery in, nothing happens. There is no light, nothing. This battery might be dead. I'm just going to use the time-honoured tradition of wiping it with my shirt. No. So we have at least one dead battery. But something else, because this one has two lights on it. It had one light on it when I did pick it up. So something needs to give. We'll put this back on charge for a second. And we'll see if we can just fix it really based on what we know about them, which is nothing. So we'll start at the top. There are no electrical connections in there. They start, basically everything's contained in here. So this is the motor, there's its battery contacts. Here is the other contact. The battery sits down here, and obviously power goes down to the head. So it could be, I have some deodorant here, purely because it should act as a poor man's contact cleaner. Which it has, so they are nice and shiny. I'm going to obviously use proper switch cleaner if you got it. Oh. Which will clean up these. And see if, well, in fact we haven't cleaned up these, we'll clean these. Now, this is the old motor, which I've got a hunch probably works absolutely fine. But we shall see. So they are all cleaned now. So I'll put that back. I'll take this battery out, which is taking charge quite nicely. And no, still nothing. Completely and utterly dead. Let's measure the voltage from the battery. And if I put this here, so you can see it, we have 3 volts, 4 volts. So there's something there. Let's put that one back over there. Let's just get this battery out. So the one that does nothing. There is nothing there at all. I think that one is the completely dead and no good. So we have, as far as we can tell, a working battery. In this box is a piece of paper. On this piece of paper we have dated December last year, an order for a new motor or dirt bin lid. Here's the part number. And it's basically this. Another whole top assembly, quite dusty. But a top assembly nonetheless. So we need to take this off, we need to, oh god. Take the filter out. We'll put the filter in here. And twist it back on. I'll put the battery back in. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We have two lights showing on our battery and no power at all to the cleaner, which is a little bit interesting really. I think it's time to troubleshoot this further. But to aid us troubleshoot it further, we are going to need a known working machine, which coincidentally I have. Now forgive me if I don't introduce this as I left it off just a few seconds ago, because it's been 3 months since I've last touched these. Whoops, life got away with me a bit, but here we are now. I have the one that is not working, put the hose back in, and the one that's not working, and I have my one, which I still have, sporting a couple of S's on it in various places. And that is mainly because we might need to use this to troubleshoot this one. What I've also been doing today off camera is charging the batteries that came with the broken one, and one is fully charged. One, however, did not take any charge at all, and I've heard of these dying. This one has, so we now have one working battery, or one charged up battery. Does it work? No. This one works. So for a quick and simple test, we can take out, again I put an S on my battery so I know which is which. So the battery works absolutely fine. Let's just check the dead one, but I imagine it's dead. Yep. So we have one good working battery. However, well, we know both work, but just for expedience, that is my battery in this machine. In fact, it wasn't even in there because we know the battery works. Next thing we're going to do is swap around the cyclones and the motor unit. Now actually we have two motor units to play with, don't we? We have, well, I can't remember which one's which. I think that's actually the new one, and judging by the state of this one being a bit dusty, this is the one it had on it before. Nothing there either. Let's try the broken one from the broken machine on my one. Ah, we just put battery in, that help. That one works absolutely fine. And indeed, if I can, why can't I separate these? Oh, wait on, what's going on? Do we even need to separate them? Will this just clip on? No, it won't. So, ooh. This one doesn't seem to be. Ah, there we go. We'll swap the filter around as well, just in case the filter is key to something on these. I don't think it is, but God, they're disgusting. Ooh. So this older motor is also not working. How interesting. So probably quite lucky that she did get a spare motor, which, God, if I can fit it to this cyclone base. Oh, that's not working either. Battery's charged. So both of these motor units, both my one and this one, do work. This one doesn't seem to. However, it doesn't work, even with a working battery, in this one, which makes me think that the problem might be somewhere in here, because this is just a holder for the battery and the terminals to connect up to the motor. So I'll put my one to one side, I'll take the handle off, and we need to investigate and to work out what is possibly going on in this unit. And I've never had one of these apart before, so this could be interesting. Let's grab a screwdriver, bring ourselves down and have a look. And we'll start by removing the 5 screws that we can immediately see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let's see how it all pulls apart. I might need a little prying screwdriver for this to pop some little clips out, because Vax do like their little snap clips, don't they? They're still not immediately coming out though. I think it's actually because I've got to pull this bit up first. Maybe. How, I'm not sure though. Oh, there's no screws under there. I'm trying to remember how, because this is actually identical to the way that some of the corded uprights work, so it should be fairly similar. Hang on. Bring you up a bit so you can see this. There we go. Gosh. There we are. And that's also got all the gubbins off on the top as well. So there we go. Bring you back down again. Aha. And that cover comes off to reveal the middle part. Now, I don't quite know what I'm looking for here. As in, I know we'll need something. This is the power switch. So they're probably good to start there and see if it is broken or not. And I have had the foresight to bring a multimeter, because we're going to need it a lot. So it's in continuity mode. if I just pull those down and turn the switch on, we have continuity at the switch. However, it also seems to run through this other switch here. I'm not quite sure how it all comes out. There we go, the red wire is being a bit finicky. So we'll test this one as well, because by the looks of it, the live goes through both switches. Turn it on. So both switches work, obviously one being for the brush roll, one being for the mains power. We can actually also test the live, which works from the terminals. Can't test anything else because nothing else goes through there, so we're actually now needing to move on down the machine and try and separate this bottom part here. So we'll take the hose off, because that's going to be well in the way if we don't. And these are a bit of a pain to take off because you have to flick the tabs out. It's quite difficult to do actually. Come on. Oh, really? Maybe get this hose off, hang on. Just turn the camera off to have a fiddle, and I've realised I've been very, very silly. Because there is actually two screws that hold this entire part on, hose and all, so we won't faff around. We'll just remove the whole thing and get the hose out of the way. Marvellous, there we go, that was easy. And then there are many screws. I'm not quite sure why there's many screws, but there's one here that will hold the pivot on, so we can get rid of that. And hopefully take this whole bottom section off as well, which will help tremendously. And there's, well, again, there's many. I don't know which ones do which. There we go, that one takes all of that off. Put that in its screw over there. This is a blue bit of plastic that's been painted silver. I can see it all shining through as we take it all off. Ah, there we go, look. Oh, we've still got this bottom bit that's being a bit of a pain. How do you get this? Oh, that's cracking. Really? How does this bit come off? No one's ever taken one of these, and this is the problem I normally have with doing this. No one's done it before, and I end up being the first, and I've got to try and work out how it all comes apart. That doesn't come off like that, that's all loose, and I can now see the circuit board, which is marvellous, except I need to be able to get this bit all off. So again, let me go away and try and take this part off and separate these two bits. I figured it out. You put the screw back in, then you hammer the screwdriver down, and look, it pushes all that away. So we can now see this is this cable. It goes onto this little printed circuit board. So we'll have that out as well. God, good old Vax, all the screws are the same. Yeah, this is a painted blue housing on these. And what do we have here? Well, we have a fuse, the contacts, and lots of wires. So I guess the first thing we need to work out is what's going on with this fuse. Aha! It's dead. This is for the red wire. The little fuse has popped. I wonder why it's done that. There's a little... oh gosh. That little fuse is no more. But I could not tell you why. Or even how it's soldered on, which is a pain. It says it's a panther fuse. It's broken anyway, so we may as well snip it off. God, I can't even read that. T15AL to 50 volt. Completely dead. So I guess next question is, do we be cheeky and just bridge these wires or not? Something's made this fuse blow, and I don't know what it is. And I can't just change the fuse for mine because I would have to replace all of the wiring, so I don't fully fancy doing. So I think, to be naughty, we're going to bridge this fuse with a piece of wire and see what happens. So bear with me whilst I do that. Proof of concept time then. We have some actually vintage Hoover Flex soldered across where the fuse once sat. I'm now going to reassemble this because it's got to be assembled for the battery to sit on the terminals, and we shall see what happens. We are back together enough to fit, and let us just confirm this, to fit a known working motor unit. Shall fit a battery and see what goes bang. There we go. So that is very odd. Something caused that fuse to blow. Luckily, however, I found the very self-same fuses, and I won't do it now. I'm going to check with the owner to see whether she would like me to fit her a new fuse and have it back or not. So I shall have to make a third part of this video, although obviously it'll be one video to you, because why the devil not, eh? So I'll get this soldering thing on there, and we shall see if she wants it fixed. If she does, we shall fit a new fuse, because see, the problem is, as much as putting a bit of wire on it helps to test it. If it is blowing for a reason, that reason will now blow something else, because it will just mean that wire is properly thicker than the wire in this machine, so something else will go pop rather than the fuse. Fuses are good, fuses are supposed to blow if something else happens, so I've no idea what causes the fuses to blow on these, quite frankly. All I can think is, obviously this is a new motor housing from Vax. This is the old one. Should we have it apart and see if there's anything amiss? Now, I did vaguely start this whilst I was waiting for the soldering iron to heat up. There's a screw at the back, you take off the Vax logo, and there's a screw on the front. I thought, oh, we'll film this in case we find something. Ah, there we go, that whole top bit there comes off. So what have we got? Well, there's the little circuit board for the boost button. And here is the rest of it, look, there is a circuit board and the motor. Oh, I can't immediately see anything terribly wrong with it, quite frankly, but there's 4 more screws, so we'll take those out as well. And then the casing splits off, and this is the small little motor that drives these air cordless machines. Let's have the PCB off as well. There we are. There is the circuit board from a motor of a Vax air cordless. Those caps don't look bad. I suppose they are slightly domed, but I don't think that's exactly the reason. Nothing else is looking charred or blown or anything really. This is the motor, which is a V motor. Little tiny, that's like the brush file motor in a Dyson, that is. A little bit of metal there. No idea what that's from, but there's nothing amiss in here. I mean, it's all a little bit dirty, but nothing's black and charred. There's just a little bit of carbon dust. That's very strange. Yeah, nothing really amiss as far as these things go. So who knows really? We'll pop it back in here. Anyway, drop the motor back into there. And pop the cover on. Which is a pain in the bum. Alright, is it keyed? Yes, I think it is. Ah, yes, there's a slot that I'm missing. Oh, right, there it is. put the screws in because they are what hold it together. Vax do love their screws, don't they? Three and four. We need to plug the boost button back in, and that just drops on the top there. That's really quite simple. The whole thing's filthy. This thing hasn't had its filters washed as per specification. Which, you know, isn't really that surprising. Oh look, we can even put the sticker back on. And then again, because I'm not going to stick it back on the machine with no fuse now, just in case it is there. But look, we can take, this is the filter on mine, look, spotless, because we haven't used it in ages. I've only kept it about for this, it needs to go. See, it's not turning on mine. That's very strange. Something about this motor unit is not happy. Something is broken on it. I hope I'll just not pop the fuse in mine. I think I have. Oh, my battery is now saying it's... Oh no, that's not my battery. Oh, why is it a... This is my battery. Have one light on it. Oh, why are these batteries no good? Maybe they just are no good. Oh no, there you go, that one's got 3 bars. What's going on? Yes, as soon as we take off my motor and stick this one back on, he says not doing it properly. It doesn't work at all. It shorts out the whole machine. So this used motor is duff. And I bet as soon as I put my known working one back on, that'll be what blow the fuse. I'm hoping I'm always careful now to not blow this one. That would be annoying. Let's trip the battery as well. Give this battery a few seconds just to sort itself out. Right, we can pop it on charge quickly. It's now not charging. Oh crumbs. What have I done? Oh, that one's charged. This one must be the dead one anyway. That is very, very strange. So there is something in this motor, probably on that circuit board, or maybe the brushes have worn down. Might do an autopsy in another video. Would you like another video of an autopsy of one of these motors? This one's gone on for far too long. Because obviously I might yet come back and say that she wants to fix this one. So I shall stop filming for now. And message her and find out what she wants to do, and if she does, then we shall put a fuse on this one and wrap up the video. If not, I shall wrap up the video in a second. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? We're going to see if we can take this motor apart and work out why it used to blow. Well, it blew the fuse and then tripped out the entire machine when it was fitted to a known working one. This shouldn't be a long video, just a little follow up to satisfy our morbid curiosity as to why it's broken. So if we undo those screws, that top half comes off and nothing else seems to be coming off at all, which is annoying. Let's see if we can separate. Ooh. We can't. How is this fixed in here? It's a push fit onto the fan, but I would have imagined that the fan case would have come off. We don't have to be too careful with it. Well, that's not doing anything anyway. I can see two screws. But I can't get to them. Presumably, of course, because the fan needs to come off. Don't tell me Vax have glued this together. Oh, hang on. I think they have. They glued the fan case onto the motor housing. So there we go. That looks like a lot of wear from this motor, which doesn't look great. However, now we can, I think, destroy the fan. Oh. This is a proper friction fit. Onto this motor, and I've just cut my finger open quite badly. Bummer. Hang on. Hopefully this is the last part of this, well, for me, couple of parts video, for you one very long video on this once dead Vax Cordless, because the fuses have arrived. They arrived yesterday actually, but I wasn't expecting them yesterday because I only ordered them Tuesday. They came the next day, so we're doing this today. We have to fit one of those. Here they are, little tight. They are a lot smaller. One looks a little bit rusty to my untrained eye, so you probably won't use that, but they're the same spec. They're the same everything else. We need to fit one to this machine. So let's do that. And now we've had a trial run at taking this machine apart, we'll try and do it in real time. Let's see how much more quickly we can do it now we know what we're doing. So we take the bin off, we take the handle out, take the battery out, we don't want that. Then there's the prizing of the switch housing on the back of the front corners, and up at the back, there we go, look. It says, oh, gosh, come on. Don't get me regret telling anybody that I was going to do it in real time. Take that button off. Marvellous. Those out, that's off, that led down. Take the hose off. Still with me, yes. So my thumb then, I've hurt. That's what it did. Well, I tried to simple that I kill that video and put it into the video. But it's not down, and the minute I plug these ice here to the side, I went on to 3. I have got the ice break. If you found this because you have searched for Vax Cordless 10 or whatever else, this might be the Vax Cordless 10. No, it's really quite interesting to see. Now, we're going to try and leave that there, because we might be able to do that. So get that down, we're going to take the 4 screws out of the housing. All the same size screw, half of the 2 for the hose so far. So that's all right. 3 and 4. And then this one for the pivot. We're going to do something, I'm going to try my hand. Put the screws on back up. Okay, that should do it. Yes, there we go. So now we get to the inflatable. Then we can move 2 screws. There. Marvellous, look at that. We are here already at our bodge. Let's solder these fuses on. First thing that I need to do, check that the soldering iron is hot enough. Yes, it is to desolder this link cable. So there's one here. I'm going to try and leave the solder on and use it to aid with the new one. There we go, there's one. And I actually annoyingly broke the trace on the board desoldering it the other day, so I've had to solder the link wire upstream a little bit, which is, God, this is a horrible soldering iron. I feel I need to upgrade my soldering iron. There we go. Put that back in there. I won't even bother trying to pull that through. I'm just going to cut that off. And there we go, that is our temporary solution, because obviously that's not ideal. Now we can cut open our packets of fuses and get one out. If I can get this one, yep, I can. There we go, look. Don't know if, there we go, look. Apparently it's exactly the same one, so we don't need to worry about that. And I'm just going to push one side through. That's soldered there. And with a bit of bending, bend it through the PCB. It's on the slight wonk, and there is a reason for that. It's so that I can line it up quite far over, actually. It needs to go to join up where I've had to solder the trace onto the board. I hope I can just melt the solder and it will drop in. And everything's happy. I'm just going to stick a little drop more on there if I can reach it. Come on, you don't have to be beautiful, you just have to work. As you know, we don't do beautiful here on my channel because I am not beautiful either. Don't want to be upstaged by the vacuums, do we? There we go. That'll do. Snip off this leg of the fuse. And there we are. This is not pretty at all. But we have our fuse, come on focus, we have our fuse soldered to the board and this is connected where it needs to go. Obviously that's the messy bit where I've had to come across onto the trace, but it will be fine. It's a little battery powered vacuum cleaner, so it's going to be alright. These are slow burn fuses. You know, I learned something ordering these. You get fast burn or slow burn, and I think the reason they've got the slow burn ones in here is because when you stick it into boost mode, obviously that ramps the voltage right up, and a slow burn fuse may not be able to take it. Which did make a fair bit of sense when I was ordering it, so I stuck to the same type of fuse. Haven't changed that. I haven't tried to be fancy and get. They were cheap. That was like £3 for 3. I could have bought one for 90 odd p, but I didn't want to break it halfway through installing it and then have to wait a couple of days for some more. So I stuck to what it was. I bought 3 just so I can save, so I have 2 more. They can go into the shed of broken dreams for another day in case I come handy. I've seen these used on many vacuum cleaners, but I don't know how to use them. Then flip it over, and we can put this bit back with its 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. I'll lean over a bit so you can see if you're still with me. There we are. Not boiling anymore. I'll put the switch cover back on, fit the hose, and come back when they're all good and ready to go. Ta-da! We are all assembled. Does it work? Yes, it does. Does it work on that? Does it blow the fuse? There we go. I quite like these. They are as close to an upright as I think cordlesses have got. It's why I quite like my Beko, because obviously it's like using just as small as a vacuum cleaner. No, I don't have the Beko anymore. I suppose I could spoil that for you, but it's why I like them. So there we go. This and its charger. We are battery down, sadly. This lithium life battery has no life left in it at all. It's a shame they do that, and obviously most of these are out of warranty now because Vax limited the warranty on them. They took the warranty right down, sadly. But it's all working again now and ready to go home. So how to fix a dead Vax air cordless duo. Hope you've enjoyed. Any comments? Please put them down below, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.